Hey there, TCH here with Technological Gadgets, bringing you the best in tech and making it work for you. On this channel, we mostly do tech gear reviews, but sometimes we check out and react to some awesome setups just like this one. And this time we'll be checking out one that's built inside of a van. So that will be really interesting. So if that interests you, make sure to drop me a like to let me know and comment down below what other interesting setups you would like me to check out, and I'll be sure to do so. Also consider subscribing, which is totally free, to help support the channel for more tech content coming your way. And without further ado, let's take a look at these setups.
On this video because you're a gamer like me, and you're considering living in a van, but you're worried about leaving your passion for gaming behind. Well, boy, do I have news for you. I've been living and traveling and gaming inside my van for the past 2 years, and I'm going to show you guys
that looks dope though.
Exactly how I get internet inside my van and how exactly I power my PC gaming setup.
Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Everybody know that I'm bad to the bone.
That's nice.
Bad to the bone. Everybody know that I'm bad to the bone.
Oh wow, that looks nice. Pretty small and cozy setup. Okay.
So before we start, I just want to say that I am not a computer expert whatsoever. There are so many things that I should have done differently about my gaming and editing setup, but I didn't.
He uses it for editing as well.
And what I did just sort of works for me. Also, I am not a licensed electrician, so please take whatever I say about solar power and power consumption, take it with a grain of salt, please, and do your own research before you dive deep
it's really important to do so.
Installing a solar system in your van or working with any sort of electrical components in
True.
Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about my
basically for everything in life, just do your own research.
Gaming station. So, under this beautiful desk here, I'm actually powering 2 computers. One of those computers I actually use for work, which I do editing, visual effects, graphic design, and the other computer is strictly for gaming. So my work computer is actually a Mac Mini M1.
I'm interested that he didn't use like a MacBook.
Mac Mini is because not only do I just love working on Mac OS for work, doing editing, graphic design, and visual effects, but the Mac Mini.
Honestly, I would recommend him to get a Mac, like a the 13-inch MacBook Pro, so that not only can he use it for his setup, but if he wants to bring it around outside of his van to do some work, or just to do casual stuff, he can do so as well. And in case the power cuts out, the MacBook Pro still has plenty of power to still do stuff in case his power just goes like that. But that's mainly my opinion.
M1's processing power is so much higher than its power consumption. Now, when this Mac Mini is firing on all pistons, I believe at max it pulls 80 watts, which is absolutely nothing for the processing power that it has.
True.
Now, as far as my gaming PC, some of you PC Master Race elitists out there are probably going to give me a hard time for this one, but I promise you, after living and gaming in a van for the past 2 years and doing a bunch of trial and error with PC gaming setups, I promise you that this is the best setup you can have.
Oh, he's using an XLR mic as well. Okay, that's pretty interesting.
In a van when it comes to PC gaming. Now, with that being said, I game on a gaming laptop. This is a 15-inch
I understand.
Razer Blade with an i7 processor and a 2070 Max Q with 16 gigs of RAM.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Run any of my favorite titles at max quality, no issue. And best of all, because
I mean, if it's just mainly using it for pure gaming, I mean, Intel definitely does it better.
Because it's a laptop, it takes up little to no room in my van. And when you're living in such a confined space like
but a laptop that is this thick and this thick in a van, I don't think it really matters that much, but okay.
A van, every single inch matters. I used to live in a van with a full-size gaming tower, and of course it ran everything great, but the downside of that was it took up so much.
You can get like small form factor builds, but I mean, since he's living in a van, he does have to consider power as well. And you know, small form factor builds, let's say with a 3080 or something like that, can draw up to like 700, 800 watts. So yeah, still I'll recommend him go with a gaming laptop.
Space, and it used so much power. And
True,
with a gaming
true.
laptop,
I think the second one matters even more.
I store it in this drawer under my desk, and I
Okay.
barely know it's even there. And on top of that, it can.
And the drawer does have as you can see, the drawer does have like vents at the bottom, so it's good so that there's like airflow to the laptop, like extra airflow, so it, you know, it can perform even better.
Even there. And on top of that, it consumes a fraction of the power
True,
that a
true.
gaming tower would use.
If I'm not wrong, the Razer Blade 50 maybe sucks in about 300, 400 watts. I don't know. It really depends, but
So
yeah.
for me, a gaming laptop was just a win-win for me, so I had to go for it, and I have not looked back since. So how do I power two computers in my van? Well, that answer is a little complex, and it really deserves a whole entire video in itself. And I plan to make that video really soon, but until then, I'm going to give you guys sort of a dumbed-down version of exactly how I provide power for my whole gaming station.
Yep.
Essentially, I have two solar panels mounted on the roof.
Oh,
Each
okay,
one
that's
of them is
good.
300 watts for a total of 600 watts of solar panels. Those solar panels capture energy from the sun and then
I think it can probably fit like maybe one more. I don't know.
transfer that energy to
But
two
yeah.
batteries that are under the bed of my van. And from those
Oh.
batteries, that power gets sent to an inverter. And basically what an inverter does, it inverts DC power, which is the power that the solar panels generate,
Okay.
and it inverts it to AC power, which is the same type of power your house has.
So basically not only able to power his setup with that power setup, but his whole entire van.
Having an inverter hooked
Yeah,
up to
that's
your
cool.
battery bank allows you to not only hook up household outlets within your van, but it
True,
allows you
true.
to plug your computer into your power bank, so your computer is now
Man, just gaming with a view like that, bro, that's insane. Can you imagine if his setup is actually maybe what I would recommend is, you know, his setup to be actually flip with his kitchen sink if it's possible, so that, you know, when he's streaming and stuff like that, if he does that, you know, they can see like the background of where he is, and I think that would be even nicer.
powered off of the sun, which is insane. Now, I'm
Yep.
sure a lot of you guys are wondering how long I can game on my computer with my solar
True,
cell.
true.
Well, there is an equation that tells you exactly how long
I mean, not only that, but especially with his gaming laptop, even though the power is kind of like out, he's still able to use it on battery power. So maybe, you know, whatever he has, maybe add an extra like 1 to 2 to 3 more hours of gaming, maybe around there. And yeah, that's probably his or his gaming setup.
long you can run an appliance based off of your battery bank. And first, what you want to do is convert your battery bank's amp hours to watt hours. And the way you do that, you add up your amp hours of your battery bank, multiply it by 12 volts, and that gives you the watt hours. And from there, you can divide how much your computer pulls. In my case, it's 230 watts by the watt hours of your battery bank. And the result tells you
Okay, 230 watts. Okay.
how long you can power your appliance. In my case, I have two 310 amp hour batteries.
Okay,
Which equates
okay.
to 620 amp hours. However, AGM batteries, you don't want to discharge them lower than 50%. So really, I have 310 amp hours to work with. So
maybe
with that being
310,
said, in the
300 I
equation
would
that I
say.
gave you earlier, so I multiply 310 by 12
Okay.
volts, and that gets me 3,720 watt
Okay,
hours.
okay.
So I then can take the watt hours of my battery bank, which is 3,720, and divide that by the power consumption of my gaming computer, which is 230 watts, and that gives me about 16 point blah 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 blah.
And if he's doing productivity stuff with his M1 Mac Mini, it's around 39 watts, let's say 40 watts. Yeah, I think it will last even longer, maybe 1 or 2 days, I would say.
And essentially what that means, I can game on my laptop for about 16 hours when there's no sun.
Yeah, that is actually insane. And when there's actually sun, like, he can game and charge up his battery at the same time, which even more crazy.
Whatsoever. Now, the only issue I've ever run into is when I've had too many cloudy days consecutively. And that's an issue because...
Oh yeah, because you know, like sometimes in the monsoon season, or he's traveling to certain places where, you know, a lot of rain. Yeah, I think that could be an issue.
That means my solar panels can't generate power from the sun because it simply can't see the sun. And if it can't generate power from the sun, it can't charge my batteries. And if my batteries aren't charged, it can't power my computer. So I installed a secondary way to charge my batteries.
Oh.
That is a voltage sensing relay battery isolator. And basically what that does, it connects my starter battery of my van to my solar batteries. And when my van is turned on, basically the alternator of my van is able to charge my solar batteries up while I'm driving. So if I've had too many cloudy days consecutively,
that's
I just
pretty
go on a
cool.
little road trip, drive for a couple of hours.
But he should probably have like a switch to turn it on and off, because if I'm not wrong, if he keeps on using the car battery, you know, like sometimes if he, you know, it will make it like last shorter. And if he's going out for like road trips and stuff like that, and he really needs to, you know, start his car and he's not able to do so in the middle of, let's say, a highway or a place where there's, you know, not much traffic, that might be a problem.
And my solar batteries are charged all the way up. So basically what I'm getting at is I could literally game for as long as I want in my van and I have no issues, and it's freaking awesome. So the moment that you've all been waiting for, how the mother freaking frick do I get internet inside of my van?
Yep, that's what I've been wondering as well.
Places. Well, my friends, I wish I had the perfect solution for you, but I truly don't. It's 2021 and the technology honestly isn't quite there yet. However, I am able to game online off-grid for the most part. And here's how I do it. Essentially, I have 2 Verizon hotspots, and each of those Verizon hotspots have unlimited data. And if you know Verizon, you know their unlimited data plan isn't really unlimited. After about 30 gigs of their unlimited data plan, they start throttling your speeds to a
wow, that's actually a pretty asshole move.
Very painful amount. And for me, after gaming for about 2 weeks on my monthly plan, I usually run out of my data plan and they start throttling my speeds. However, for whatever reason, I'm able to play World of Warcraft and watch Netflix just fine, even when they throttle my speeds. Now, if that internet solution isn't enough for you, there is an alternative. I have a few van friends that use a cell provider called Visible. And apparently this cell provider
yeah, I heard that Visible is a pretty good one.
True unlimited data. And the best part about
so they don't throttle your speed.
Verizon towers. So anywhere that you would have Verizon signal, you would have Visible signal. And essentially what you would do, you would get a SIM card from Visible, install it in this MoFi router, I believe it's called, and you would have internet in your van and have true unlimited data. Now this is
one of those like SIM card to router kind of things. Okay.
It's something I've tested, so I can't vouch for it completely, but I would love to test it eventually. And if this video gets 10,000 views, this is something I will invest in.
Yeah, plus the good thing about it is that, if I'm not wrong, the one that he's using right now doesn't have an Ethernet port to connect it to his computer, so he can't really get like that good of a speed and that efficient of, you know, of stuff. So basically, I think what that allows him to do is basically to get at least like gigabit speed, you know, if he connects it straight to his router, so his internet will be way faster.
And I'll try it out and I'll do a video about it so you guys can see if it truly does work, because I'm interested too. I mean, that would be really cool if that works. But
I'm interested too.
I think we're just gonna have to wait on Starlink.
Yes, that one.
Starlink. Why am I not using Starlink in my van? Well, Starlink is still in beta. And even if you were to get beta access, right now Starlink is region locked. And if you were to get the package that Starlink sends you, you wouldn't be able to leave a certain area, which is no good for me because I'm constantly on the move. And as far as I know, Starlink started as a way to provide internet for people that are in remote areas that have no access.
True.
So I believe that that is their #1 focus right now. And until that is perfected, I don't see them focusing on the mobile aspect of Starlink anytime soon, at least within the next couple of years. So as far as I know, either Verizon hotspots or the Visible hotspot is the way to go. Well, there you have it, guys. That's exactly how I provide internet in my van and how I power my gaming setup. I hope you guys found this video very informative. If you did, make sure to more videos on my gaming setup and my van life journey every week. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, make sure
the
to check
video.
out his
I'll see you next time.
videos.
Thanks for watching.
Wow, this setup is really dope, and the way that he's able to implement like 2 computers with like full PC peripherals, keyboard, mouse, headset, and even a freaking monitor, is absolutely insane considering the space and power limitations he has to work with. Aside from that, cable management is very clean, and his power internet solution for his setup being very interesting and really allows him to travel anywhere and do anything and basically game anywhere. Anyways, if you found this video as cool as I did, make sure to drop a like to let me know, and comment down below what other interesting setups you would like me to check out next, as I'll be sure to do so. Also consider subscribing to help support this channel and continue what I am doing. Last but not least, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.